Okay, this is the public safety meeting for October 23rd, 2025. I'm gonna roll call. John, can you send Kelly the link? She just texted me and asked for the link.
Okay, give me a second, Mel.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask everybody to do tonight, so we can get through this. Oh Lord, what happened? Uh-oh. There we go. So we can get through to everything tonight, is to make sure that we're raising our hands and kind of stay on mute and raise our hands to ask questions and stuff and try and get through this, because it's going to be, these two CISs have become a little bit complicated, and we're going to have to probably do some editing because there's been some updates since I wrote the CIS to the all of the stuff. So anyway, but we'll do roll call first. Is Kelly on her way, John? Okay, so roll call. Gwen?
Present. Sorry, guys, gotta deal
John?
with.
Yeah. Voting on it?
Melanie?
Were you voting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Were you voting on something or just doing roll call?
No, we're just roll call. And is
Okay,
Kelly on her
I'm here.
way?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Kelly on.
She texted and said she wanted a link because she's on her phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
okay, hang on. Christina's on if you want to make her a panelist. She's in attendees.
okay. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so is there any general public comment at all? Anybody?
I have some.
Okay.
Since we're taking up animal services issues, I did want to announce that this upcoming Saturday on the 25th, while my dogs bark and growl in the background, sorry, there is going to be an adoption event, a special adoption event with all of Animal Services. So there's going to be discounted adoption fees and a lot of other good stuff. But it's the Happy Halloween adoption event. And of course, if anybody is here, we are also going to be at Peck Park. Peck Park is having a festival in the afternoon of the 25th, Saturday the 25th, from what was it, 11 to 3? And then, of course, Dia de los Muertos all day Sunday into the evening. Downtown downtown San Pedro.
Okay. Also, the event is tomorrow night for LAPD, over at the police station. Christina?
Hi. If we're mentioning events, I just also wanted to mention that we're planting November 2nd for the milkweed. And I think it's Elberon and Walker, but I think it's on the website. But I just want to make sure that was brought to everyone's attention.
Okay.
For Peck Park planting. Thank you.
Peck Park. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so moving on. So the first is the CIS for 250031. So let me get, I have to stop the share. Why is this not stopping? Oh, please. What is going on? It's like locked up. Oh, come on. What is with this thing? It's locked. This is horrible. I can't get it to stop. Why is it doing this? I can't get it to move or come out of anything.
Let me see if I can share something.
I don't think two people can share
Someone else
anything.
is sharing right now. So, oh, I see. Replace the current share. Let me try to get out of it. Okay, I can replace it, and then you take it
Okay.
from me. Is that
Is it-
sharing?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so take it away from me.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, wow. It's disabled for me.
Do you
What
want
is-
to send me? Do you want to send me the email?
Why can't I share? This is crazy. Lori, go ahead, allowed to talk. I can't do anything. I'm locked up. It's not letting me have anything, to have any controls of anything all of a sudden. It's like
Lori,
I'm not,
go ahead, Lori.
I can't even allow Lori to talk. John, oh God, I wish
See
it
if you
would have
can
made,
see if you can make me a host, a co-host.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can.
are you able to do anything, Gwen?
No, I'm not. I'm not made a. Oh, she seems to be off of me. Well, her hand is up. Let's see. Oh, and Kelly is now an attendee. No, I
I know
cannot. I cannot
I can't
upgrade them.
anybody. I can't move anybody. I can't do anything. Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Let's have Vic come back on. Something then must have. Hang on.
I'm like froze out.
Hey Siri, call Victor Christensen.
This is nuts. I can't even look at anybody, nothing.
Melanie, you could email them to me and I can save them to my desktop and possibly get that going. I seem to be able to share.
Yeah, let's
I don't
see.
have admin, but I can share. So, you know, the Gwendolyn
Oh, wait.
Henry.
Oh, now it stopped. It started
Okay.
doing something again. Okay. Now something's happened.
Kelly's
So
here.
yeah, I allowed promote to panelists. There we go. Let's see if it works. There, now it's working again. Okay, what we're doing right now is make co-host. John, you are co-host in case something happens to me again.
Okay.
Okay. So that way, if anything happens to me again on this, because it was literally locking me out.
Kelly, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We just don't see
Okay.
you, but that's okay. But Christina's
I'm
in.
trying to get it. I'm trying to get it to be seen, but
Okay, so this is what I have for, this is for the council file 203331. God, where is? So what we have here, where's the other portion of this? There it is. So let me, I'm going to stop that and let you read the motion first, which might behoove us first. Here's this the right one.
I'm going to promote Lori to a panelist.
Who?
Lori.
Oh, Lori, that's fine.
Yeah.
So this is the original thing for about nonviolent calls, and they have Urban Alchemy as well as Circle program, and one of them's like homeless services like Circle, but others mental health. And so it makes sense when I was reading through this, number one, that somehow the combined funds would, you know, the budgets are separate and combine them and have more money to go around, number one. And why aren't they a combined force instead of these two different programs? And so, and that's kind of what this says, and I totally agree with it and looking into the stuff. So that being said, and I'm going to stop share, I left these in Word in case we needed to alter them or change them by any means. So this is kind of like Scooby-Doo here, back and forth, unfortunately, but
I'm not
there
sure
we go.
why I don't have video.
Are you clicking that? You know, you're still in attendees too. Did you try with two different things?
So
Kelly?
this,
Hmm.
We have to upgrade her to panelist.
okay, so Lori,
She doesn't have the vision. She doesn't have video.
not on your phone. I don't think you will if she's on her phone.
Oh, I've used my video on a phone.
Hi,
Oh,
Melanie.
you
Did
can?
you call on me?
Okay.
Melanie?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. I think that what you've written here is perfect. It covers it. Basically, we're just saying that we've had success with the crisis incident response through community-led engagement. The Circle team and other areas have had a different service, the UMCR, and we'd like to see it expanded in throughout the city. The only thing I don't know is budget-wise, if that's going to be a stumbling block, but I guess that's really for city council
Yeah,
to figure out.
S had like, there's, trying to remember, there's like 12 something, their budget is 12 million for Circle and 8 million for mental health for the other one. And so if
That's
they
not
can
mental health.
really makes the budget like bigger if they go with those same numbers.
But
You
I'm
know?
saying maybe just don't even mention the budget. What you have written is excellent. I would go with that.
Yeah,
That's my input.
okay. Anybody else?
That's fine with me.
I just wanted to just like be very specific and target, you know, what it is that we want to say and what we think they should do and just get to the point on this. Lori?
You know, the only thing maybe to consider adding is to make it more personal to Northwest is that it started as a pilot program in our area, in the harbor area. And so far, we've seen success with the program. I don't know if you want to mention something like that. It probably doesn't make
Okay.
that much of a difference, but it just adds a little
How about,
credence to it.
That's a really good addition.
how about circles at the bottom here? Circle
Well,
started.
well,
or
it's
what-
about, it's about the strongly supports the council file. You could actually put it up at the top. You know,
Okay,
so yeah, our points are as follows, bring that down with the bullet points, and then, but put it immediately after strongly supports council file.
Okay.
We here in Northwest were a participant in the pilot program.
uh,
Or in we here in San Pedro.
we
Or
here
was it all
in,
of CD15, Lori?
Yeah.
Or was it San Pedro
No, it's not.
specifically?
It's the harbor area. It covered
Harbor
Wilmington,
area.
San Pedro,
Yeah,
Harbor City,
We
and
here
part of the
in-
Gateway. So I would just say
Yeah.
harbor area, and it's, I think,
yeah,
good
we
enough.
here in the harbor area. Yeah.
You can just say we in the harbor area participated in the pilot program, which is now an official program, I think. But
harbor area
um
participated
or yeah, I guess participated is
in
the right way to
the-
say it.
pilot program for circle.
Circle. Or actually you need to capitalize circle
Yeah, it
because
is.
it's an
cap-
acronym.
Yeah. Oh, CIR, the whole thing caps.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
the
it's an
whole
acronym,
thing.
so the whole right. Yeah. And have already seen, I don't know, we could just say success to keep it simple.
Oh, great.
Or
Don't worry about it.
Good results, something like that.
Yeah. Positive results for anybody in particular, Lori?
You know, I would leave it very simple.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's success in helping people on the streets, but there's also success in relieving LAPD
Right,
of some of the
right.
work. But I think Melanie's more than covered that in her points below.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, and we
You could even say we're pleased, we here in the harbor area, we're pleased to participate in the pilot program. Because we were.
I wouldn't put that in
I
there.
think it's
Oh,
pretty.
okay.
Kelly? Oh, she probably wants to be moved back over. Attendees, Kelly.
Yeah, how's that going,
More.
John? You able to move her over?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Are you there? There we go, Kelly.
Okay,
Did that
now
work?
she's out. Before, I think she had two things on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so are we good? So do we want, who wants to move this?
I'll move it.
I will second.
250.
Or well, as amended. Well, we,
I move the amendment.
It's friendly amendments. That's all.
yeah.
Move John. Quinn. Second.
Move
Okay,
it,
roll
move it,
call.
move it.
John,
Yes,
okay. Gwen,
Aye.
Kelly,
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Okay, unanimous.
Thank you.
Now the next one. This one's going to be a little trickier because this one has got some updates that came with it. So it kind of changes a little bit some of the stuff going on that originally I wrote it, but then some of the things. So here's the let me see. So let's look at the motion first.
Let's look at the motion.
This was the original motion. And it talks about the heating and air for like apartments, especially the cooling systems, because a lot of landlords in these older units don't have cooling. I mean, even my mom's units don't have any of cooling because of the size of the windows and things like that. So when you start thinking about this, of what, because Lori and I had a conversation about this, when you start thinking about what you're going to do and forcing, yes, something needs to be done, but this is costly for a lot of these older units to do a lot of this stuff. This is going to be expensive if they require them to put air conditioning units and have it pass all the requirements, and the special, type of the, what is it? The special type of clean air type stuff and
The
things like
HVAC.
that. All that. Huh?
The HVAC filter.
Yeah, the HVAC and all that in there. That's going to cost to meet all the health codes of now versus 1960s, that some of these units are at. So anyway, so this was the motion. It talks about that how renting their homes according to Department of City and Planning. A lot of people end up in the emergency room because it's too hot. Woodland Hills was 121 degrees and hot, and it's trying to keep homes that at like an 82-degree level. So it really gets complicated. So after discussion with Lori, I'll show you what I originally wrote, but I think in some respects it probably needs to be, because this is the other thing that's come up now. This is a new thing that Lori sent me that they had that got added today. And this is directing them to do stuff. So Lori, go ahead and speak on this.
Sure. I guess I had missed this, that on October 1st, the committee that was originally looking at it sent this letter and sent the motion now over to Energy and the Environment Committee, because they need to do some research on this. They know they're not even dealing with the landlord issue. This is more DWP or their alternatives. I'm just summarizing. The grid isn't set up. We already have a problem when we have a heat wave with them having to shut our power off because the grid is pushed to the max. So if you add all this additional air conditioning, can we handle it? So they're asking the housing department and building and safety to report within 180 days on options, to adopt something, and request DWP to report with recommendations to expand, align incentive efficiency programs. I worked for 20 some years in the ceiling fan business. Ceiling fans can help. They're not as, as effective as air conditioning, of course. But like I had mentioned in the file, in my notes on the homelessness report, you've got three things. You've got landlords who you're going to ask to pay for all this. They're already barely making any profit in a lot of cases, that the smaller mom and pop landlords, and they can't pass these costs on because of rent control. Secondly, if you're adding air conditioning, you guys know what that does to your utility bill. We all know. We try to run the air conditioner for as little as possible. So in low economic areas, you add air conditioning, the people aren't going to be able to afford to run it because they won't be able to afford their utility bill. Can't even pay for healthcare. And then the grid issue. So I'm thinking at this point, now that I found that they've sent this off, that we probably should support this motion. So they've sent it to another committee, is basically what this letter is.
Okay,
And I think and it's
So
also in the county.
Okay.
So I wrote to, so you know I'm on the Climate Emergency Mobilization
is-
Commission.
Energy and Environment Committee for the county, or this is for the city
No,
council?
this is the city, but I wrote to
Hey,
the head
but-
of my commission saying, you know, asking her, goodness gracious, I see both sides. People can die of heat stroke. Okay, but you know, forcing a landlord to pay for it isn't really the best answer. And her
Right.
response to me is she thinks the city should have waited because the county has a similar thing going, and the city should have waited to see what the county was doing first. But she also felt there's no good answer here, except they've got to find some other compromises.
Right. John?
Well, one of the things, one of the things you're going to have problems with is these are older units that we're talking about. These
A lot
homes,
of them.
It could be both, John. They'll have to define if it's an older unit will, or sometimes if they
yeah,
have
because
more
some
than
of the, yeah, because some of the, like, I've been around some of these houses that are just these places that are built in the 40s and stuff, and some of them, they haven't come up to code with electrical. They still got the old wax wires running through the receptacle, and you know, air conditioner takes 220, and
Yep.
you know, you're right, they would have to go through, change all the meters, and you know, make sure that they have, you know, 220 or 440 coming in, where each leg of that breaker has the capacity for the 220, because like you said, it's either going to blow all the fuses and stuff in there. You're talking a lot of money that these people, and do
John,
they want to
you're
spend it?
more technical, but I think these older buildings aren't set up for central air conditioning.
No.
No, they
Okay,
aren't.
they can't, it's not like the newer
aren't.
buildings where you, yeah.
Yeah, that's
My
what I'm
mother-
saying.
my
So
My mother's units that she has, her 2 duplexes, they have windows that are like the skinny little windows. And so no AC unit's going to even fit in those windows, number one. And number two, she has like the old grid, the old electrical grid. So she would have to upgrade to the G5 or whatever it is grid in order to have it, as well as our house. When we did the remodeling in the kitchen and everything, they told us we couldn't do the remodel unless we paid for the G whatever breaker to be upgraded, because it was still back in the 1960s. And so they wouldn't remodel our kitchen until we did that.
yeah, a lot of
So that,
places were, yeah,
Lori,
a lot of places are like that.
So maybe the approach we take is that we see issues on both sides, and we'd like the city to look at a report and see if there's other alternatives and some compromises. Certainly, we don't, you know, so I lived in the valley, okay? So it's, you know, we don't have as big a problem here, although we did feel extreme heat more so this last summer. But in the valley, it yeah, it can get up to like you know, in the hundreds, and especially seniors, they can't handle it. You know, I mean, maybe there's something where they could do where one room in the house you have air conditioning instead of the whole house. I don't know, but I think maybe, oh, and I see Christina has her hand up. Just that we asked them to further research this, that the way it's written, you just can't force the landlords to do this. But we do
so
need
this is
I
something
don't know
that Lori,
what to say.
this is what Lori sent me, and I'm not even going to show mine because it doesn't work anymore with the update. It just doesn't work. So this is what Lori sent me, and maybe this is the way to go.
That's what I copied from that letter that you just showed. I copied and pasted it. No, it's the same thing that you just wrote. I just was trying to help you by putting it in the body of the email.
Okay.
So maybe we say we support this that went to the Energy and
So-
Environment or whatever committee.
Let me do this then. Let me come here, close this. We're going to go over here, and we're going to take.
I'm wondering if they can put swamp coolers.
I saw
That's
Christina
exactly
kept
what
trying to
I was
raise her
thinking.
hand, Melanie.
Christina?
Did you see that,
did
Chris?
you have your hand-
Yeah, she had her hand raised several.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Go ahead, Christina.
Um, actually, Lori covered it, regarding, basically units for single rooms, not, actually air conditioning the entire home. Because I know in some other countries, it's just a matter of keeping one room either warm enough or cool enough, depending on the environment. And then also the cool roof. I think it's a great concept, but I just put one in and I noticed very little difference this summer. So
Oh, really? We did the
I
full roof, but we did a real expensive one that was like the sun protection thing on it and all that. And
yeah, I
so
ordered all the
it
upgrades and I really didn't notice a difference.
we did, but we're like in the hot area of Pedro, so maybe that's why we noticed it more, I guess, because it was like you would sweat when we first moved in here. Oh my God. I thought I was gonna die without the roof redone and stuff like that and getting AC because it was bad. Because this is like the gully over here where it like gets so hot in the summer. And it'll be hotter than the rest of Pedro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I just because I try and not use my AC due to global warming and I didn't want to use up too much energy, so I didn't use my tried not to use my AC, but still needed it at the end of the day because it got way too hot in my house.
Yeah.
So it might need a multi-point solution where they start incorporating cool roofs and then mandating some sort of cooling device for one room in the unit, because landlords are not going to be able to afford this at all.
Right. And that's the thing. They aren't. It's just crazy that there's
Nor
just
are
like
the tenants going to be able to afford the electric bills.
Well, there's always a solution like we used to do in New York when I was a kid. You take a big fan and you set it down, you sit outside and you just spray water at it and it just comes and gets you. It's really good. That's my solution.
I thought for sure you were going to say the fire thing, the fire hydrants.
Yeah, we used to do that too.
And then the other thing is a block of ice in next to the fan and it
Yeah.
blows cool air. I
that
mean,
helps.
there's alternatives, but they're very,
You know, a couple of years ago, some guy made a thing where you put ice in an igloo and it had a motor and fan and it had a hose coming out the side and it was cooling, they said it was cooling really good. So, I
so
mean,
Okay, so
maybe
look,
there's
we're
alternate
gonna have to
solutions like
write
that.
this, you guys. So let's get to this. Lori,
You
you
know,
have stuff.
I do not have air conditioning in my apartment. However, as most of you know, I now live in coastal and I have ceiling fans in the 2 bedrooms and I've been able to deal with it just fine because it's quite often 15 degrees cooler down by me. I get the ocean breeze. My point being that there are areas in the city that may not need it. Wouldn't it be crazy that my landlord has to pay for air conditioning when,
Right.
and honestly, I was petrified because I was just like, oh my God, I'm moving to a place with no air conditioning. I'm going to die, like John or Melanie said, but I honestly have not had a problem. So making it across the board, but I guess you can't really pick geographic areas. I think that we should acknowledge we've read through this. We appreciate, and I'm just talking out loud, you don't have to write that. We appreciate the concerns for the extreme heat issue caused by global warming, if you want to put that in there. But there has to be a better solution. And say, we suggest, and when we say one room, if it's a 3-bedroom house or apartment, maybe they need 2 rooms. Like maybe there'd be a requirement, depending on the number of bedrooms, how many rooms would have to be cooled. Because if you have 6 kids in there and you're all, you can't just have 1 room. But something to that effect, I think would be good.
Yeah, some places I've seen it where they have a big enough air conditioner in the window that heats up the living room. It heats up the kitchen, whatever is and if you leave the doors in the bedrooms open, eventually it gets, but as long as it's a strong, BTU AC, and it's not spread out the rooms, in some of these homes that are, 1,950, 1,150 square feet, it could work.
Christina has her hand up.
Yeah, just another point. You could do it by square footage. So for instance, something 700 square feet and under would be 1 room of cooling, and then up to 1,800 square feet or 1,400 square feet, 2 rooms cooled. But you could put a parameter of square footage, but also noting in the letter that it is very important that we also understand the concerns of the landlord and the cost that all of this will be, and then also the impact to our power grid if they mandated HVAC in every household.
You're saying we support this motion. I almost want to say, and tell me what you guys think, we support the intent of this council file.
Okay.
Yes.
Does that make the sound a little better?
Yes.
Yes. That sounds good.
I don't know what you typed.
I don't know what I typed.
And we don't really support intent. I guess we appreciate the intent. Grammatically, it reads a little weird. Kelly's the teacher.
So would we be neutral then when I submit this?
I think so, but
I'm
we
on my
appreciate.
phone and I can't even see it.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying you support the intent. I think saying you appreciate the intent grammatically makes more sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we are saying we're neutral because we're seeing both sides of this, and we want to see the report. We want to see some better ideas, and that's when you can put such as considering only needing cooling based on, as Christina said, based on square footage.
We're aware of the issues with inadequate cooling in some rental housing throughout Los Angeles.
You probably should put especially in the low economic areas. I mean, it's just my thought.
You
Yeah.
need to address that. That there needs to be some, due to budgeting and cost and everything, they need to have some alternative alternative solutions to that.
Okay, low economic areas.
I mean, you could say something to the effect, we look forward to reading this report that will be analyzing the environmental impact, which and the grid, and also taking into consideration that landlords can't afford this.
Yeah.
We look forward.
Yeah, you have to address the cost efficiency of this.
Yeah, and nor can the renters afford to run it.
Right.
I mean, you guys who have
This
air
may not be
conditioning,
cost efficient.
don't you try to run it as least amount of time as possible, besides being better on for the environment. It's extremely expensive to run the air conditioner.
Well, this is something that
just a minute, Gwen. So Lori, what did you say? We look forward to reading
the report. Well, I guess the requested report, something like that. I I don't know. I'm not like being real articulate today. We look forward to reading the requested report.
The
that will,
aforementioned report?
or aforementioned, that's fine
Aforementioned.
too. Yeah, that's probably better than requested.
Okay, what
That will
mention?
hopefully offer alternatives and compromises to avoid putting such an extreme economic burden
That will,
to
that will
landlords.
The potential burden. Yeah.
that will
Economic burden.
hopefully what? That will
Address
hopefully-
the potential burden to landlords. Okay, to landlords, comma, the high cost of running the air conditioners. That would be comma after landlords, yeah.
Potential costs, high cost.
High cost to run the air conditioners. And okay. Which is a burden to the renters.
Yeah.
I guess you could say high cost burden to renters to run the AC units. And then the burden to the grid.
Mm.
Is there another name for the grid, Gwen or Christina? Or
No,
they know
that's perfectly good. That's
okay.
That's perfectly good to say and clearly, well, the LADWP would have to be advised and would have to study the potential increases, the draw of power
And-
during peak times. And with that, and this is where I wanted to let you finish that sentence, and it's connected to this.
Yeah, I think other than the spelling corrections, I think that reads good.
There's a couple here.
Well, it's hard when you're typing while we're all watching you type.
Yeah.
There, I think I got it.
But well, this is the thing that we're working against, is that most people who will end up with these air conditioning units will probably get window units or some of those standing units, which draw an exorbitant amount of power. They really do. The same with heating units that are out there, which also could create fire hazards unless it's, anyway. But there are, now I personally have an air conditioning system that's one of those mini splits. This is something that isn't transitioned over to, but I've got to tell you that even when this area I'm kind of in a little microclimate where it could get up to 104 degrees during a summer, which it did do a few years back. But I have an air conditioning system that's called a mini split, and at no time did my power bill get beyond a certain temperature. Now, this is another thing. So I don't know if we can mention this, but shade trees and that the city should analyze possible rebates or try to figure out ways of
Yeah, I think rebate
creating
good
air
idea.
conditioning that doesn't.
What I think they mentioned in there like some type of incentives, but Gwen, I just have a quick question. When you say mini split, is it zoned? Is that what you mean?
It is. It's a unit that's within the room. It's quiet. The actual cooling unit is outside, and each room is cooled. I don't need it in a couple of rooms. I only need it in the room that gets the most direct heat, and it's very effective.
The reason I
And-
ask it is because they
How
call
does
it
it
being
get to the
zoned.
room?
And my place in Arrowhead is 3 levels. and I have central air. And so I had to have it repaired last year, and I said, can you change it to zoned? I don't need to air condition all 3
Yeah.
floors, just the,
Yes.
and it was like, he goes, well, that'll be about $15,000, but yeah, we could do that. So it was
15,000.
cost prohibitive to, now maybe
Good
when you install a
heavens.
new air conditioner, zoning is cheaper than where you're trying to revise the
Well,
system.
well,
But
let's
that's
just
just,
So
that's just another thing
is it
that
an
I think we're probably
alternate?
getting into the weeds when we
Yeah, we're
and
getting-
even with
yeah.
shade trees. Yeah.
But
Is yours
we
installed,
should
Lynn?
mention that some of the most effective ways to cool places is well-placed trees, and which we all need anyway. We desperately need in the city of Los Angeles, because this city is only going to get hotter, not cooler.
Some of the best
And
ways to cool residents.
one of the most
It's not a
effective ways
best
to,
way. It's not a best way.
it's not a best, it's an effective,
If your
if-
house faces a certain direction, for my house, when I
a
was,
well-placed
yeah.
tree, yes.
Christina has
And
her hand up
effective,
again, Melanie.
yeah.
I was also going to note, because what I'm envisioning of the homes that really need this, that it's like the whole block is, 3 or 4 apartment buildings. There is no place.
Treeless.
Yeah, they're treeless areas.
They're
But
treeless areas.
there is no ground to plant trees.
Well,
Right.
Because
that's
it's
another thing.
the sidewalk and the road, and then the
Well,
rest of it is building an alley.
Well, that's actually something that is a presentation for the future. There's a new kind of system that you can actually place under the tree. Well, first off, changing to tree wells, larger tree wells, even on sidewalks that are fairly close, makes a huge difference. And you can definitely grow a bigger tree even in those treeless areas. But there's a new kind of system that does go underground that literally creates an aquifer for those trees. And it's something that needs to be promoted more. But they should analyze the addition of trees, and that if apartment owners are going to be burdened with mandatory air conditioning, then they might find it a better expense to plant the appropriate shade tree, in the appropriate place when possible. If they commit to watering that tree for about 3 years, that tree will save a tremendous amount of money. Shade trees are a significant thing, and it doesn't even matter if it's on the right side or not. Once you get a certain number of trees in an area, it cools down everything. It actually creates its own cool zone. So this is a given. And actually, what they could do, you could say, please have discussions with the Department of Urban Forestry and Rachel. Oh gosh. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Melanie, can I jump in here?
Yes.
Melanie, I think we're getting off of this. So climate emergency
Yeah.
mobilization, the climate emergency mobilization in the city, okay, they work with the tree people in urban forestry, and they're just right now we're in transition because they're moving us out of reporting to Public Works and putting us in the energy and environmental commission.
Yes,
So
they are.
committee. So once this is finished, this will be part of their reporting. I wouldn't say some of the most effective. I would take out the word most. Some effective ways to cool residents could be well placed, and I'd say shade trees, because not just any tree.
Effective.
Okay.
Cost effective.
Well,
Yeah, and I was just
maybe,
adding
maybe
stuff
not.
here.
Again,
Inflation
you know,
and
you have to have, Christina brought up a good point that a lot of these buildings don't have space for trees. Okay, and, it depends the direction you're in. You got, you know, having east-west
I
exposure.
thought of was
you-
improving insulation in buildings can help with
Yeah,
cooling
but
too.
here's a
Right.
question. Would Gwen or Chris, maybe one of you knows, will tinting windows help?
They should.
It,
And everybody could
there
tint their
is-
windows.
Yeah, you have to get the new windows and there's a UV protectant, which can
yeah,
help block
Yeah.
out some. But then again, that would only be on the side,
Right, depending on
know.
your exposure, which direction. But can you
Not
tint
necessarily.
existing windows, Christina, without having to get the new windows? Can you tint existing ones?
I don't know if it's as effective as getting the new
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
And
just
it
windows.
would
saying,
have
they're
Double
saying
pane.
UV protected windows. So I think this, we're offering some alternative things for them to look at. But again, we're getting beyond the scope of what this motion is.
Yeah.
But I think adding these things to say, hey, you guys think outside the box here. We don't need to just put
Exactly.
expensive
Yeah,
air
yeah.
conditioning units in here.
Let's look at
And I
some
think they'll,
alternatives until, let's look for some alternatives before we have such a exorbitantly cost solution of putting air conditioning units and everything.
and I like the
Fan,
word
Isn't just that-
alternative,
there's a
Kelly.
lot of things that are cheaper. What?
I like the word alternative instead of just saying some effective ways, some
Yeah,
alternative methods.
alternatives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
To a unit that's going to overrun the grid, make it almost price people out of living in apartments
Well-
because they're not going to be able to.
Well,
And you know it's going to come down to the renter because they have to recoup their losses. They can just keep doing it as high
Right.
as they can with rent control.
But
That's very
both
limiting.
sides. It's both sides because it's very expensive, as we experienced, to
Exactly.
install AC and all that, and you have to upgrade and all of this, and to try and get in there. I mean, it's very expensive, the unit and all that. There are less
Exactly.
expensive ways to drill through the wall and just put one in. If they don't have the windows, you can install it in the wall and put a hole in. But even those don't run effectively a lot of times. The wall air conditioners are very
can I-
expensive to run.
Can I add an addition to the thing I want to run it by you guys? The other point to putting all of these air conditioning units, the one thing that is an absolute fact is that as air conditioning units are pumping cool air in, they actually increase the overall temperature of the city itself. It actually works against itself. It is a known effect that the more air conditioning units you put in, the hotter the city actually gets. And it actually dries out the city.
Yeah.
So there is that negative impact as well. The more air conditioning units there,
DWP will analyze that.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's where
yeah.
they have to come up with more alternatives. And the alternatives can be even as easy as fixing windows. Like they were trying to get everybody to have the newer windows
Yes.
because the newer windows retain the heat in the winter, but it also with it they can do the glass with it where it not reflects but offsets the heat during the summer. So there's a lot of things that they can do first before ordering people to have air conditioning units and looking at the environmental cost that air conditioning units would cost and cause. And there's just a lot of things, and we're trying to get rid of pollution and we're going to add it. It's come on.
I'm in a 1923 cottage. These are the most porous windows, but I have added, the ridging insulation, like a little rubber thing at the ends of things. I've sometimes put a film over the windows, and it actually creates some of those effective things. There are ways of working with this until better measures can be done. But yeah, but the repairing the windows, putting I forget what it's
Melanie, I
called.
don't think you need to explain it because fixing
Yeah.
windows and upgrading will reduce cooling.
This
I think,
alternatives says it all.
yeah, I think we've already said alternatives. I think I'm
Yeah.
just, you know me, I always try to keep things short to the point and simple.
But just-
Christina also has her hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, because as going back actually to your point, Lori, with the ceiling fans and then the windows, putting it back also on the tenants to have room darkening curtains, because that also helps reduce
Yes, it
the
does.
temperature in a room. So
Ceiling
there
fans
are
don't use
many
is-
options.
Yeah. And ceiling fans are very low energy. They don't use anywhere as much energy as an air conditioning unit.
Well,
And
but
actually,
Dale,
in conjunction with an air conditioning system, it actually makes it more effective by distributing the cooled air through the room as well.
I think
It
you guys
actually
have a well-written statement here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this does the job. And just,
and tinted
should we-
windows, Lori, do work. If you put the mirrored part of them outside, that reflects the sun outward and not inward.
And
I've
using
seen that.
protected windows will cover
Lori,
tinting.
should there be a
Yeah.
closing statement here on it though?
Oh, another thing, which I have used, I've actually gotten those shade sails. They actually create that a shaded area as well. So if you have two buildings that are close to each other in a very hot area, if both of those buildings have shade sails, it allows the air and the breeze to get through, but also cuts the heat.
Melanie, you're asking for a closing statement. I
Yeah,
guess and you don't have to write this. I guess the statement is supposed to say something to the effect that we need to find solutions that
Yeah.
are reasonable for both tenants and for protecting the life of the tenants and protecting the landlords. That's the only way I could think of to kind of wrap this up.
And
Well,
the
you
environment.
want to you
And the
want to say
environment, yes.
we need to find a solution that is economical for this situation.
Yeah.
That way, you use you're using the word solution and you're using the word economical, so that they know that we need to. They're trying to look for, not saying the cheapest, but the
There-
less expensive but most effective.
the real solution is multifaceted, that there are
Right.
many,
Yeah.
it's a multifaceted
Yes.
solution. Air
Right.
conditioners by themselves are not going to solve.
So say we need to find a variety of solutions that
Thank-
address the
yes.
economics for renters, landlords,
Yeah.
and continues to
Yes.
protect the environment.
Yes, give
Kind of
those various
variety of-
solutions, because each
solutions.
residence, as everybody
Yeah.
has said, is quite different from each other, and that solution may not even work. You may have
Okay.
a bank
Ad-
of
that-
air
that
conditioning units facing
Addresses,
each other.
Melanie. Find a variety of solutions that address
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
economics.
Did address,
Economics, I think,
Because I mean,
for
really honestly,
renters and landlords, and then after renters and landlords, and continues to protect our environment. Is that a good way to wrap it up, Melanie? Is that what you were kind of looking for?
I just needed something to
Okay.
close it.
Yeah, no, I
Need to find
agree.
A
You
variety
just
of
change
solutions.
after landlords to and instead of an. Yeah, after, no, not there, and landlords, comma,
and continues.
yeah, but you need a comma after
Okay.
the Oxford
Thank-
comma, right? My daughter always yells at me
Yeah.
about the Oxford comma.
And a period after environment.
Yeah,
Yep.
But with that, when we were talking about too many air conditioners, if you have a 5-story brick building next to another 5-story brick building, and the air conditioning units are facing each other, and there's only like a 5-foot, 10-foot space in between, they're pumping hot air into each other, and it defeats it turns into a mess.
I know that the Central Neighborhood Council said they're also gonna take this up, so after you're done with this, I can send it over to Will Cordray, who
Okay.
wants to look at this too. I think that we've very succinct and to the point here. What's interesting to me is that there, as of this afternoon, there were no neighborhood council community impact statements on this file yet. There were some public statements, but no neighborhood council.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I realize it was a little bit of a stretch to put this on the homelessness report, but I think you guys can see why I was looking at
No, I
a
see
tie
why,
into
and I
that.
appreciate you being aware of some of this stuff, because sometimes it goes amiss, and then it's like, you know, I got to thinking
I
about the homelessness one for those ones for funding from last month. I got to thinking about it. It could technically go on budget and finance.
I don't know if they've been voted on yet. I didn't look them up again, so you might want to.
I'll go look, but if they haven't been voted on yet or anything,
Okay.
then I could probably put them on budget. and
Okay, thank you. I
finance.
appreciate it. I try to watch the council files. Some days I just don't have the oomph there's a lot of files I read, so.
It's
This one I
like,
knew was coming. I knew a
There's
couple of months ago that they
lot.
were gonna try and do
there's a
this.
lot though of new council files that have just a whole
Well,
slew of them.
are you guys getting the emails forwarded to you that Drew's sending every month? She sends them
I
to the
don't think so.
presidents and it says, these are all the council files that Tim McCosker has
Nope.
filed this month.
Nope, nope.
All right, I'll
I've
talk to
never
Ray about that.
Yeah, I've never been on that.
I requested that from the council office. I said,
Yeah.
if you want us to support your council motions, share them with us. So Drew started this a few months ago, but I realized Ray's not
You just
forwarding
send
it
them
to you.
to Ray, and Ray's not sharing them with the
All right.
committee
Well,
chair.
okay, well, this
and
is
it's-
not complain about Ray. I'll just talk to him about it.
No,
So,
no. It's not complain, but it has to go further than
you know
It's
what? I don't
unfortunate.
have I could forward it to you guys because I got in the loop because I'm the one who requested this, but I don't have a group email set up for the board. So,
There used to be a group email through Empower LA, but they got rid of it.
yeah, but again, I'm not a board member, so I don't have access to that anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore.
There's some disadvantages about not being on the board.
Hmm.
So
But, yeah,
I guess
Well,
I
let's all make a point of sharing our emails with Drew.
no, she's not gonna
So-
send, okay, it's too much. She just sends them to the neighborhood council presidents and lets them distribute them.
Oh.
She's not gonna send it to everybody. She doesn't have,
Well,
we're lucky they're even doing this. So.
Well, you know something, actually, just as an idea, there used to be, and once again, Empower LA used to have a formulaic email address that actually kicked all of their emails to everybody who is set up on Empower LA with their emails, and it distributes straight to them. So
But does it do a
they-
fine neighborhood council?
yes, it does.
Oh,
But
okay, well,
but
They
apparently
still do.
they've hold on. Apparently what happened is that too many people found out about it, and so they've pulled back on that. But I believe that Tim McCosker's office can request it so he can distribute them
well,
to
this is,
all.
they're doing this at a special request that I asked for. I
Yeah.
said, because you want the neighborhood council to support you, so you need to,
Yeah.
if this doesn't cover all council files, only ones where he's initiated, okay,
Yeah.
the motion. So
Yeah.
that's why I try to watch things, because there's other council files that he supports, but because he didn't initiate them, it's not included in
Right.
this.
It's
So,
just
but
Tim.
yeah, so this
But
comes,
that
Drew does
allows us
this.
to support our council member.
Yeah, and Drew does it for
allowed.
all of the NC presidents in CD 15, I believe, so.
So why don't we, who wants to move this?
So moved, Gwen.
Okay, and second,
I'll second.
Thank you guys
Okay.
for taking this up.
so roll call vote, John,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Okay, there we go.
Is
Um,
Christina on your committee?
No.
No,
No.
okay.
No. She's a guest. She's here for animal services. So what the heck is going on? There we go.
If you're done with these guys, I'm gonna sign off.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Thank
working with
you.
me on these. Much appreciated. Have a good
problem.
evening.
Bye,
Adios.
Lori.
Okay, so let's go back here and play games with this thing again. See, okay, please share for me. Share. Okay, so now, so the next thing is the animal services. So do we have a letter, Gwen?
I do. It's a little verbose. I got too detailed on one example, but so let me tell you guys. So um I reached out to Tim McOsker's office, and there is an upcoming appointment with Tim regarding the Harbor Animal Shelter. And I've reached out that and asked if I reached out to Ray. I don't know if you spoke with him, Christina, yet or not, but I've asked for our neighborhood council to possibly have the opportunity to participate in any visit that might happen. But I also mentioned that that you, Christina, have been appointed as the Animal Services Liaison, and as such, we have an opportunity in Northwest, especially because the harbor shelter is within our borders, to help facilitate and support improvements that are being devised for the shelters themselves. But we also would like to participate in devising ideas and solutions that the neighborhood councils can do, and provide our input with the Animal Services Board of Commissioners, as well as the city council committee that handles animal services. Now, I don't remember which name it is, Christina, if you remember which committee it is, but right now it's just at a beginning phase. We don't have an announcement for the commissioners or demands, because I've been reading through all of the history, and I've been reading some of the things that are going on right now. There was a pilot program that was just completed, and I have it here. It's the Los Angeles Animal Services Project Report, which is an analysis of the outcomes of pets, and they've been testing ways to increase the success of adoptions and decrease the poor outcomes. They've made transitions in names in the language that they use for pets that have been highlighted as being troubled, or they don't use the term red listed anymore. The term red listed actually creates a poor outcome, or they theorize that creates a poor outcome for that animal. And they've kind of shifted their policy there. There's a lot of complicated in the weeds things that they are working on, and the pilot program has shown that euthanasia, which is happening right now, unfortunately, across the board, did decrease. But with that, so we're not, I don't know what we can do about that, but we do have the opportunity to provide extra solutions regarding, for example, outreach and education. I've continued to talk to people to say that they're missing a tremendous opportunity of utilizing the 99 plus neighborhood council system in order to distribute all sorts of education and information, reminders, how to adopt a pet, things to consider, all of these things. They're missing a tremendous opportunity of getting this blanketed out, and I think that we have a place to come up with these ideas in order to come up with actions that don't cost a lot of money but have tremendous impact. So it's just an introductory letter to Tim McOsker, possibly the city council committee that is in charge of animal services. I know it's the name, the name of the committee is something quite different, and I've been trying to figure it out. I only was able to find information on Paul Koretz, who used to be the chair of that committee, but it's all kind of outdated, so I'm still hunting it down. Anyway, if you want to, I'm going to go ahead and share it.
Okay, let me stop the share here. There you
Okay.
go.
I can replace it. Okay, here we go. You see, okay. Do you see it? Ah, here, share. Okay. And that should be it.
It's Animal Services Department is what it's called.
Yeah.
The committee, the city council committee, the committee of council members. Because
So
there's
it says
the
art, parks, libraries, and community enrichment. I think it's going to include all of these now.
it says art, the city, the committee on arts.
Committee is called Art, Parks, Libraries, and Community Enrichment. It's going to include cultural affairs, Indian Library Department, the zoo, Animal Services Department, Animal Services Commission,
Okay.
Department of Empowerment, Neighborhood Councils, Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, all of
My
that.
goodness.
Wow, they put a whole slew of stuff into one
Mhm.
committee. It's art,
That,
park, libraries, and community enrichment.
good heavens.
Good heavens, yes.
Maybe we
That's
should ask them to separate that into different, oh my God. That
It's
might be
art,
one of the problems there.
libraries, and community enrichment is what it's
Anyway,
called.
I'm just putting their names there because we may not be at that point. This may just be a direct communication with Tim McOsker and the chair of the City Council Committee of Arts, Parks, and Community Enrichment. But this is regarding animal services and supporting solutions. So as the Harmer Animal Shelter is in the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council community, the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council has selected an animal services liaison. Northwest would like to work with Council Member Tim McOsker's office, or just Tim McOsker. Yeah, the Animal Services Board of Commissioners and the city and the Committee on Arts, Parks, and Community Enrichment to help devise, support, and facilitate solutions which improve the outcomes of pets who are in the care of the animal shelters. We believe Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council and the neighborhood councils as a whole have an important part to play in participating and working for the success of the animal shelters. For example, the NCs are a wonderful vehicle for disseminating information and communicating to the 3.9 million residents in the city of Los Angeles. Suggest devising a protocol to distribute social media information that utilizes the outreach capabilities of the 99 neighborhood council system. So And to that point, the neighborhood councils have websites and social media accounts which could distribute the following. Oh, this was supposed to be bulleted. Promotional announcements of adoption events, volunteer opportunities, microchipping information and reminders, how to apply for spay and neuter programs, veterinary service opportunities, shelter wish lists, facts about different types of pets, educational, should be underneath, educational information to prepare families for commitments and tasks when caring for a pet, how to report a found pet, checklist of resources if one has lost a pet. The NCs could also share any featured animal shelter clips produced by City TV or a local news network, example, the Pet of the Week features, or create, or the animal shelter can create an animal shelter volunteer of the month feature. Volunteer of the month. Acknowledgements, which can then also be distributed through the NC system and through
I'm not
neighborhoods.
sure if the NC system itself would do that, though. We, as an individual NC, could do it, but Empower LA probably won't do that because it's not part of Empower LA. They aren't in neighborhood council board members or part of Empower LA, so they won't do it. It would have to be something each individual neighborhood council would have to do.
Yeah, and that's why it's
Dr.
important to
Bedford.
devise a protocol which can distribute social media information utilizing the outreach capabilities of the system. So devising the protocol, it doesn't mean that we're saying specifically Empower LA does it. It's devise a protocol. And this is just one example of an idea that we believe that we could help support. You know, but with this, I don't know whether I wanted to add in this letter regarding, regarding the possibility of joining them at a future date appointment at the Harbor Animal Shelter, but did want to say that we would like to participate at a higher level and really work with the council member's office with this shelter, but also be in.
Christina.
I was going to say, oh wait, I just lost my train of thought. As our neighborhood council would like to work in a more productive way for the welfare of animals, because I feel like we just don't have a good relationship, or I don't have a good relationship with this animal shelter if I can't even get in.
Christina, can I ask you a question? And this is not to be, derogatory against anybody or anything. I'm trying to think of what might have happened and because of history. Have you gone over there with Maria and those guys before?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I know there's bad blood kind of between them and Maria and those guys. There's kind of like this aggro type like tension between the shelter and them. And if you've been like not a neutral person and been cited as being with them, I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
No, because I've had this issue with this particular location for years.
Oh, even prior to even being the liaison.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, let me say, this is an aspect, that I had discussion, that I believe that we have the opportunity that this letter, what I'm hoping to do is actually maybe reinforce the language that says we're, you know, in a way that we understand the current situation and how it's gotten here, and
Well,
that we want to be a positive force for the solutions that build towards the kind of animal shelter that we all hope it will be.
Maybe
So
using the word resource. We'd like to
right.
be a
a
resource.
yeah,
A
I'll
resource. Yeah,
put that
that would
in.
be a good one, because this is the thing in Budget Advocates. One of the things with the LA charter reform that's going on too is that one of the problems is, and that this is what we're hoping to jump over and correct and make better, is that a lot of these city organizations and shelter and other, like departments, see neighborhood council as nothing, and as if an extra thorn in their side. And they don't see us as other city officials that have a place at the table, and we deserve the big seat instead of the high chair. And we deserve a bigger seat at the table and input more, and to be recognized from other departments for our position.
Yeah,
You know,
generally across the board. I think specifically for animal services, it's always important to include for the well-being of the animals in their care. Because just the well-being of the animals doesn't seem to be recognized all that often. And we, as civilians, maybe are more passionate towards it, and
yeah,
it's important.
Yeah, but the important thing is that this is where this is the difficulty, is that I mean, I've mentioned this before, but um there is a very passionate group of people who are very, that it just breaks their hearts to the point where they're extremely loud about the current
right.
state of where this is, and it drowns out all, all conversation. Now, granted, this has been going on for a very long time, and people have been talking about it for a very long time, but something has to change, and it's got to change. And I believe that the neighborhood councils have not been utilized to the best effect, and have that opportunity to
I
for very key things that have been communicated on many levels. Now, what you're talking about, Christina, that there is because of that group that is so vocal, it creates, I mean, I it really, honestly, right now at this moment, the morale of the employees is down, is just crushed. They feel embattled on all sides. The Karen Bass feels embattled. People are reticent to dip their toe into this, because no matter what, when you start delving into animal services and you come up with solutions, it's never enough, fast enough, and you become also a target of, you are also part of the problem, kind of thing. So it's a hot potato, but I'm hoping that this letter of introduction says that we are an ally that really wants to help participate in action that does some of the, starts to tick off some of the things off of the list. I mean, the simple fact is that resources, education, and outreach are huge.
yeah.
And and it doesn't mean just education on the public's part, but it's also education and training for staff, education and training with volunteers. Um, it's making volunteers feel good about their volunteership. Right now, it's a
You know, Gwen,
very tense thing. And the culture of that, where you feel good about it and it actually makes a difference, needs to be changed. So all of these things, I think we have the opportunity to help to get to that point. But because really, honestly,
Gwen,
it is a dark time.
one of the things we could do, and it dawned on me that we could do this, you know, through our social media platform, we could actually take, like, on our website and have a section for animal services on the website.
Mel,
There's
that's
a
what I'm
place,
asking for. That's what's in here.
you
That's
know,
what's
and
in
just
here.
have a place where
Yes.
all the updates
All
go for animal services on it.
Yes, but you do realize it's not enough to just do it in Northwest San Pedro. We could be a
Right,
test
together.
model. We could be a test model that then is distributed to all of the other
Right.
other neighborhood councils.
We could
That
come
we
up
could
with
have a
ideas for
test
a
model,
pilot program,
a
pilot
pilot
program.
program. Yeah.
And then if possible, if we could work with that group, because all of their energy is directed more in a negative fashion. If we could come up with one thing that we'd agree upon, like
Yeah.
instead of on Saturday, them out there with signs and balloons and whatnot, we provide a t-shirt and they walk dogs in the neighborhood and the t-shirt says, you know, spay neuter now or adopt or something, you
See,
know,
See, you're
something
getting into the
simple.
weeds, and that's what I want to introduce. Actually,
Okay.
this to your point. I mean, you got to write that down, honey.
Oh, I have it
Unfortunately,
already. I already have it in my.
Write that sucker down.
t-shirts we
But
would not be able to provide. We can't provide anything that's
yeah,
for an individual other than a board member type thing. For like shirts, they will not pay for them.
yeah, but
For
well, once again, everything is very low cost, but we can start with some of the key things. We all still the neighborhood council system. Everybody has a web page and there's social media, and if it is one of those things that there is a protocol, it has always been very difficult. For example, I have attempted to reach out to the animal services communications department and tried to get their posters, the things that they're doing. For example, for the Halloween, this upcoming Halloween event that's on the 25th. They don't have a flyer. They don't have something that's um Instagram ready or Facebook ready or website ready that can immediately be placed on, on a neighborhood council's thing.
like the park, you mean?
The adoption event that's at all the shelters on Saturday. I just found out about it
Ben, are
because
you
the only
talking
place
about the
that it's being
park?
huh?
Are you talking about the park not having it Instagram ready? Gwen?
No, I'm talking about
But
animal
there is
services.
Oh, animal
there are
service.
postings for all of the because basically the rest of the year there's discounted adoption services almost every weekend for the rest of the year, and it is a blurb on animal services. You can go to the website and there's a spot for every day basically, or every
Right,
weekend.
right. But Christina, there are 3.9 million people in Los Angeles, and it's not like every single person goes to the animal services page in order to find out this cool stuff that's happening with
Oh,
pets.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if we could just get a template, because it's already, the information is there. They've got a picture. We just need it in an Instagram
So,
format.
Christina, I've worked with this before. I actually tried to work with the animal shelter outreach, and they're difficult. They're annoyed. They don't want to give you any of those things. There's a whole bunch of things. They don't want you to do a job either. I've worked, and then the other thing is that if you're trying to help animal services, you can't just make up something. You actually have to have it approved through animal services and through the outreach department. They have to take it to their
Right.
manager.
And that's
So,
what I'm saying. If there's already content, we're not doing their jobs. We're a resource to help them distribute it out.
and that's the suggestion, devise a protocol, which with, and that would be with, I got to find out the name of the department again, with Animal Services Outreach.
Okay, I'm
Says-
confused. Isn't this letter to introduce you as the liaison and that we want to help them? Isn't this what this letter is trying to do? Because we're on a
Yes.
lot of tangents, and
Yeah.
I'm
once
doesn't make
again,
sense to me.
So what it is that, well, and what I wanted to go back to, actually, thank you, Kelly, for the reset. So I'm on a committee, like Lori is on the emergency environment committee. I'm on the trees committee. So it is basically pretty much everybody there is on a neighborhood council, and all of them are on this actual committee that works with urban forestry, the department of, yeah, there's a whole bunch of different departments, you know, street services, you name it, on bigger issue situations. I strongly believe that a community, you know, that a representative from each council district could also have a community animal services committee that can work with this to talk about some of these difficulties, you know, from a different perspective, you know, the outreach portion, and trying to create a system that will improve it from this point forward. Once again, I find animal services, they're I don't want to be negative in any way, but and well, okay, let me go back. So I've gone back and I've gotten all of the different articles that have come out since like 2022, when it was Eric Garcetti, actually even earlier than that. So the problems that are happening in the animal shelter now are things that have spiraled since way before Karen Bass. Nothing has changed. The frustration level is high, and there are key elements that create massive problems. And there's a chemistry and a of commercial interests of animal rescue and how they work within the animal shelter system that's actually kind of toxic. There, I'm looking at it from a level of everybody has an interest in wanting to help animals, but they also work against each other in a way that's kind of backstabby. I hate to say it. And it's not in the interest of the animals to do that. But the partnerships that are being created, because the city just does not have the facilities to create a bunch of beautiful adoption locations with clean cages, and one, like 2 per council district, and hire all the staff they really need. in order to care for these animals the way they really need to, and to get the spay and neuter program going the way that way it needs to, because they don't have that money. It's left to deal with commercial money, interests that do it for a profit. It's a Best Friends and those guys, they still have to, they do it as a job. And so so when they create their own reports as to what's happening in the animal shelter,
Well, I think this needs to be a letter to introduce Christina saying, I want to work with you. What are some things that,
Yeah.
what do they feel that we can do? Why don't we go it instead of attacking or whatever's happened in the past or whatever?
no, none
Right
of that,
now,
none of that. I'm giving you the background of where it is.
no, I understand that, but it's not, it's right now our country's in a dire, I mean, like we're trying to get food to people. And so animal shelters and stuff, yes, I mean, they're my heart and I love animals and I can't go to them because I can't adopt any more animals right now. I just lost 3 of my 4 dogs. I'm not ready yet, but I just think that introducing Christina and getting it, on a roll where we can do it, that's what we need to do. And everything else is good until funding is set and everything else, we don't know what we're going to do with anything. And
So
we're
to
just
that
going,
point, we're a resource and we'd like to contribute
Yeah,
Yeah,
and be a partner
right.
yeah.
for
So,
the harbor shelter.
Right. And that's
okay.
a good liaison because right now they've not even accepted Tim's offers of anything. They won't let him in to help either. So they're feeling obviously they're feeling very attacked if they're not even letting him come in and see anything or talk about anything. So if we can come at it from a different approach, it would
And
be,
that's what I'm
getting
trying to
those
do.
olive branches.
That's what I'm
okay,
trying to do. And
so
I've got to.
wait a minute,
to-
Gwen, wait a minute. So it is 7:21. We don't need to be here at a 3-hour meeting tonight. We need, and I know other people have other things to do tonight. So I was hoping this letter was gonna be ready to go tonight.
It is ready.
Out
What do you
gate.
think of it as it is?
So, okay, so we need to move it along and vote on it because I can sense that John is looking at me on camera like I have things I need to do tomorrow or tonight, Melanie. And I can see in his eyes that I'm reading. And Kelly is giving me that look too on camera, like,
Okay.
seriously, this doesn't need to be a 3-hour meeting type of look. And
Right.
so,
Okay. So I've added the word partner. I've added the word resource. I'm going to add the word opportunities. And I liked the idea of possibly a pilot program within Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, or throw it out there that these are some of the things, and possibly suggest a select, a committee, much like other committees that are within the city council system, the neighborhood council system, that is another advisory group that then works with the commission, the animal services, and the other entities that are working to
I think we need to stick with this before suggesting an advisory. We need to get through the baby steps first before addressing an advisor or anything. We need to get Christina in the door as our liaison first. And
all
then
right. Well,
take
anyway,
steps.
okay. So just leave it, an idea that anyway. So it's being done offline, and Christina, I hope with my phone number that you'll contact me, and did Ray reach out to you?
No, Ray, regarding what? Exactly. Sorry, I'm just getting home from work.
Regarding a future opportunity to be in the room when there's a tour.
No, Ray did not reach out
Okay.
to me yet.
I'm mentioning it now. That I've reached out to Tim McOsker's office, and that it's already being worked on offline. It doesn't need a formal letter, but I was wanting to possibly also create a letter which says that we would like to work with these entities for, for solutions that, larger, bigger solutions that will contribute to the success, and create a new protocol, a new system of doing things that have not necessarily been considered.
Yeah, which this letter is fine the way it is right now.
Okay, great.
And I'm just going to agree with you because I am on my phone because I was driving, so I can't see the PowerPoint anymore.
Well,
Okay.
I actually read it to you.
Perfect.
Okay,
So,
great. And I did add your words. So I'm adding your words to create a couple of sentences which use those key words. But it is the way I wrote it.
so at this point, I want to move the letter.
Okay.
And do I have a second?
I don't think I'm allowed to second because I'm not on
No.
this committee.
I'll second it.
John? Okay. So, any more discussion on this? Kelly, any more to say on it? John?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna call roll call on it. Gwen?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. John?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. So Gwen, do me a favor and just kind of clean it up a little bit where there's a couple of like the communicating
Yeah.
it's underlined for some reason and stuff. Clean it up, and fix it, and then send it over to me so that I can have it loaded on the website within the next couple of days.
Yeah. You got it.
Then okay. So are we
Okay.
good? So save it so I don't like bounce you out of it and then
Oh, it's saved.
oh okay. Because I was
Yeah.
gonna go back to the
Oh, let me pull it out. Okay, stop share. There we go.
okay. Then I'm gonna go to the agenda again. So the last thing that I have, unless other people have other public safety issues after this, is the placement of the public safety signs. I want to discuss how have they been holding up? Were you able to get them at 7th Street at all, Kelly?
We didn't get permission yet, so I have to do it again for our I have to go through leadership to do it, to put it where I'm going to put it.
Oh, okay.
But we've had a
And
police officer there, and because we had a lot of illegal parking. So, but today I sat at my car and watched 5 cars run that stop sign
oh geez.
right in a row. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So
Have
it's crazy.
the signs that people have put up, have they been stained? That's the big question. Have they been stolen? Or are they still there? Mine is
The
still
ones
there,
that the other one I put up, yes.
okay.
And the signs I put up in my neighborhood are still there. However, with the heavy winds that come through this area, they definitely bent. And then people are still running stop signs. Maybe because if we could brighten it up or make the words bolder for the next print.
Yeah.
Because people aren't, it's small coming up the hill and going down the hill
Right.
is my
I-
feedback.
They whip
Do you
past it before they even see it.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
do you still have some signs that are available?
Oh, yes, I do have signs. So
Okay,
anybody
because
with more
the
signs.
Taper area, I mean, sorry, the Holy Trinity area, there's some key locations where they could go. There are actually locations where there's a lot of people. At certain times, they slow down and they're stopped and they're parked and they're lined up. But then that same group starts speeding up later. So they do have an opportunity for periods of time to sit there and stare at it if placed in the
Yeah.
right spots. But there's other times where people just go tearing around and it's nuts.
Did the one on Park Western get placed, John? For
Yeah,
Park Western Hill?
I got to do it. I'm actually going to put two of them. I got to do it next week. I'm off Friday next week, the 31st.
Okay.
So, and I need to go talk to her too, the principal, the new one.
And I asked Vic to put one by Taper, but he never did. So I'm gonna go over there and
Um,
put one up at
well-
Taper Elementary.
Well, Melanie, I've been in contact with the head of the PTA in the last couple of days. I'll talk to her about that as well, and I'll probably go
For
over
what?
there. I'll probably be actually going over there tomorrow.
For what?
Going over
For-
there tomorrow?
To Taper or Park Western?
Yeah.
Which
To
one?
Taper. Taper.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I don't need it at the school. I need it over at the intersection over there at Westmont.
Oh, at Park
and
Western.
Taper.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
on Westmont and Taper Avenue. It needs to be in that area of that intersection there because people are just running that stop sign.
Mm.
So if there's not a crossing guard there, they just fly through it. But yeah, there are signs left, so we need to utilize them. And so hopefully it's been difficult with me not lifting, getting them to the board meeting to distribute them more and stuff. So, and I'm not allowed to lift until after November 5th. I can start going to physical therapy and then start lifting little tiny things at a time. But it's going to be a slow process, unfortunately.
Melanie, could I come by and pick up some signs and then I could bring them to and from the meeting?
Yeah, that would be great. All the help is totally welcomed.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Um,
Christina, if you could give me a holler afterwards.
Sorry, I had to take
Yes.
a phone call from my daughter.
No worries.
But we so anyway, and any other public safety issues that you want to see on future meetings or anything?
If we can get updates on ice and stuff like that, that would be great. It looks like San Francisco isn't going to be plagued by the same issues that we have.
Yep. I saw that. It's crazy because even with Portland and Ohio, or Illinois, I mean, what's going on is one judge rules one thing, and then they overrule it at another judge, and then it's playing back and forth, and depending on where they shopped the judge at, it's going to end up going higher because basically they're ruling based on just small factors and not the case as a whole. So now it has to be heard at a hearing before they can stop the National Guard from being there.
Well, also, I also noticed that there's going to be a West Harbor bicycle unit that's going to be right there at West Harbor.
Yeah, they're taking applications.
And
for it.
I was hoping for updates if that's extra staff or is that taking away from all of us?
Brand
And
new patrol.
Hmm?
It's your port police. It's a brand new patrol
it's
for
Port
port
Police.
police.
Okay.
Whole new division.
And it was very unfortunate that at the board meeting, we didn't have Officer Valoni to give the report. Is is it possible to have a backup where if he's not able to come for, even if it's a last minute thing, that maybe he's able to give the report to one of, you know,
It's
like
my
you or
understanding, it's my understanding that Nua was supposed to be there and he wasn't, something come up. Because
yeah,
he's the covering officer for Valoni. Valoni's been on
right.
vacation for a month and he comes back tomorrow.
And with the
Well, yeah,
change
but if
of our date, you can't expect them to be able to accommodate us on changing the date when they have things, you know, their schedules are tight
Right.
too.
yeah,
Noah has his own
so
area, plus our area was added to him. So trying to balance everything with his responsibilities and then Valoni's too is just difficult. In
so my suggestion,
technically wise, Terraza should have come, the sergeant, instead to fill in, but that didn't happen either.
so my
But
suggestion
I,
is in cases like that, if we could have a backup where the information is actually forwarded to maybe you, the chair, so that you also have a copy, and then if anything happens, the information is still somehow disseminated.
now because of November and December, they go dark for the holidays. We will probably not see anybody for November and December at our
Well,
meetings because
then
of it dark.
perhaps it would be important to get that last report before the holidays. Just I'm because I made the
Hopefully.
report. It's unfortunate that report will not be heard at all. That would be
Yeah.
3 months worth. So if they could just get it to
You
you,
send me an email with something, you know,
yeah, right, okay,
but they'll
that's it.
get caught up in their thing that they do with the kids, you know, the whole Thanksgiving thing and then the Christmas thing, and they don't have CPAB, they don't have anything during this whole time for
Yeah,
2 months. It doesn't return until after January.
right. So if maybe you can say, hey, before you guys get too crazy, that report that you weren't able to give, just forward it to you
Yeah,
because they made it.
yeah,
They
exactly.
built a report.
So anything else, you guys?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, I think we're good here, and we are pretty productive and got a letter and 2 CISs out tonight, so that's good. And all you guys know, right, that Ray didn't announce it, but he agreed with Vic because we had approved during this fiscal year or during this year. Well, he says this year, and December is the end of the year, to do 2 Zoom meetings. So Ray, to appease him, said that the next 2 meetings are going to be on Zoom for November and December for our board.
Wow. What are you going to do with the kids?
I have no clue.
Yeah. How are you going to sign their paper?
They better
there's a way of,
notify the schools that it's going to be on Zoom and that give them a way to get the
Well, I'm
signatures
hoping,
because they have
according
to have it in before the end of a semester.
No, it's the end. It was supposed to, this last meeting was the last meeting for their government hours that they could use. That it was due this month.
Oh, okay.
For their
okay.
hours. So I'm hoping that we won't have any students anyway into November and December. It'll start up again in January though, when the new government class is back. Like January,
Oh,
February, a new one that starts.
so and then there's only one other thing. So I found that Tarzana had given a suggestion at the last meeting. They had created a resolution that I'll send you guys for possible consideration. I don't know if it's about illegal and online pet sales, how to possibly deter the shadow market within Los Angeles. I don't know. I don't know how successful it is, but we do have that opportunity to create resolutions to forward to the commissioners. I've been kind of looking at their last meetings. Because usually, you know, you want to bring things that are informed. So, based on what they're dealing with, like the project that they just did in the analysis. It's a pilot project and analysis of better outcomes based on a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have some resolutions and we can participate in the commissioner meetings.
Okay, sounds good. Alrighty, so I'm gonna call the meeting at 7:40.
Woo!
Bye,
Alrighty.
guys. See you soon.